whatever time you're listening.
Driving, mowing your lawn.
Man, it's cold. It's kind of...
Wait, it's not mowing the lawn in December. Well, maybe people live in different places.
That's
maybe
right.
They are mowing the lawn.
Don't be so Ohio-centric.
Don't make everything about you.
Shit. Now they know where we live.
Son of a bitch.
They know where we live. They're going to find us. Hopefully. Bring beer. Bring beer if you do. I prefer dark, nice, high alcohol beer.
That's kind of racist. Dark. It was a joke. It was a bad joke.
I mean, if you're saying if I said King Cobra or something, then, you know.
I have a King Cobra bottle upstairs.
King Cobra. I thought I told you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Spraying like some motherfucker.
It's been a while since I've had that. I'll have to get some. Make myself.
You know, that was the best thing when you bring King Cobra to a party and you don't have to worry about anybody drinking your beer. Nobody wants that shit. I like it, though. I mean, if it's cold, it's good.
Do they even make it in, like, regular packages?
Less than a 40?
You only get a 40? I've only ever seen it in a 40.
I've only ever seen it in 42. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, listeners, get to work. Let me know if they make that any other way.
So send it to P.O. Box 42. No, I'm just kidding. All your free beer samples.
You probably can you legally send beer through the mail?
You know, there's some states that you can send alcohol through the mail,
but across state lines.
Yeah, you can. Some states, yeah.
Okay.
Somebody used to work for. They would actually ship wine to an address in Michigan that they knew because you couldn't ship it into Ohio. Because of the way the law was, Ohio wouldn't allow that, but Michigan did. I think they've changed it. And one of the things is because of all the microbreweries and because of all the wineries coming up, I believe they've made some, redactions to that.
I know my buddy, or our buddy, Dale.
Dale.
Cupcake. He always shows up with tons of microbrew stuff. It's always great.
He does not bring them across state lines, though, because that would be illegal.
No, I didn't say he did that. I just said he shows up with them.
Oh, shows up with them. He just
I didn't say where he's from.
Teleports. No, that's right. We didn't say where he's from.
Stop being so Jeff-centric.
I can't help it. I'm eccentric.
But I'm me.
Shoot. No, so what do you want to tell me?
No, we were talking a little bit off air, I guess you say.
Yeah.
I almost said camera.
Off digital.
Yeah. I recently took my CCW class in Ohio. And
is that like CCR?
I was not ready for that one. And that's how you can tell it's just not scripted. That was really good. So
A bad moon horizon.
Yeah, that one's kind of got me.
Yeah.
So no, I go. I've been wanting to do this for a while and haven't had the time, and it just didn't work out. Finally got the time. Finally had it figured out. I will throw a shout out to it was car concealed carry. It's actually my brother's class. He put it on, and no complaints on his end on how the class went. He did a great job. Anybody in our area that knows where you are, I highly recommend you go to him if you're interested in such a thing. My issue was the standards set by the state, and I'm usually the most, laid back guy about firearms. Like I'm not big on the whole gun control thing, but this class was just easy.
So we need more government involvement with our weapons, is what you're telling us.
When you say it like that, I just couldn't believe how easy it was. I always thought it was more difficult than that.
Difficult to pass the class, difficult information in the class. I've never taken one. I don't own a firearm. Not that I'm against it. I just don't own one.
Yeah, I think
because they're expensive.
Difficult. They are difficult. Just more. It basically didn't cover what I thought it would cover. I thought it would cover a lot more of the laws. And I mean, we did touch on them, and I learned some stuff from the class. But basically anybody who wants to could probably pass that class easily.
It's basically to teach you how not to go to jail for carrying a weapon, right? Like what you need to do with how to declare it,
all that. Oh yeah,
how to travel with it. I mean,
yeah, some of that was a lot
of
it's
a 101 course, right?
Yeah, it was basically like a safety 101 course is what it was.
But why does it need to be any higher? Because in this state you can open carry with no permit.
Correct, which is fine. I guess maybe it shouldn't have to be higher. I was just very surprised. I thought it would be a little more involved. Yeah. And again, he taught by the criteria given by the state.
Sure.
And the good thing about the class was he encouraged conversation. There was a lot of time left for having these conversations about these different scenarios.
I covered all these parts that the state makes me do, but here's an opportunity for you to pick my brain as a trained weapons professional and If you have questions,
and a law
ask me.
enforcement officer, yeah.
Oh.
So
they're the worst shots, though. They're terrible.
You
remember the days
we
when
talked
you used
about
to
that.
watch,
We talked
hold
about
on, you
that.
remember when you watched the news and it'd be like, police shootout, 19 shots fired, suspect not hit once.
Yeah.
Now, kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
One suspect,
One shot fired.
and
Two
one
shots fired, both to the head.
Both, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not a joke, but it's. I mean, it has changed.
It
but-
depends. But I mean, around here, not so much. But he did talk about. He's like, hey, you miss. You might be a great shot at the range, but when it's suddenly a real situation, and he's like, and he's never been in one, and most people never have, and most people hopefully never will.
Hope so.
But the idea that you might be great, super proficient and wonderful, just a great shot, everything's good. As soon as you get in a position where someone else is shooting at you, out the window. Like, you're going to miss.
That's where training comes in, right? And people, pure on training. And in an industrial concept here, something they taught from the safety standpoint is there's a difference between action and reaction. Training allows you to act instead of react, because reaction is not necessarily controlled by your higher level brain functions. It can be at a lower level. You're reacting. You're not acting on training. You're just responding to a stimulus in whatever way that may be. It might be okay and might not. But through training,
training definitely
can
would help. But I still think I could
still hard.
I go to the range every day and shoot, and I think if it ever came down to a life or death situation where I'm being shot,
you have to train in those types of situations, right? I mean, get your body.
And that's
familiar
what I don't
with
think
that
you
stuff.
could do.
It'd be tough.
For instance, you could train in a flight simulator all day long, and then if you have to land a real plane, you might be a little bit better than if you hadn't trained, but you're still not.
Because there's no consequences.
Correct. You always
in
know
the
at training in the
simulator.
back of your head, there's no consequences. Nobody's really shooting at me right now. I think it's got to be a different level of everything: blood pressure, adrenaline, all that shit's. I know. I think I'm a.
Still makes you more proficient.
I'm
than
a
the
very
other person.
decent shot at a range.
Yeah.
And I think I can handle my fire, and I'm just fine. And I think that if anybody ever came in shooting at me, ready to kill me, a lot of that training's out the window, and I'm just going to be trying to shoot while holding the urine in, like it's at the same time.
What struck me as odd is 10 years ago when this really kind of got going, the CCW here in the state.
That's when they made it legal finally.
Okay, it was about 10 years ago.
Before that, you couldn't get one.
But the thing is, before that, and for the last 100, whatever, I can't remember. It's got to be 100 years in Ohio that you could open carry.
Okay, but get into that.
But it wasn't popular.
No. Even the popular or not, you could open carry, but that doesn't. Like even right now, you can still open carry.
Yep.
Of course,
without a permit.
Correct. You don't need a permit. You have to be over 21.
Yep.
Well, over 18 if you're carrying a long rifle. Over 21 if you're carrying a handgun or pistol. But the problem with that being, as soon as you get in your vehicle, that's not open carry anymore. Now you're concealing it, even though it's on your hip out in the open.
Yeah.
Inside the car is.
Well, that's where the old gun rack used to come in, right? You don't see those anymore.
I don't think they're legal anymore.
No,
I could be wrong on that.
If you have a concealed carry, why wouldn't it be legal?
If you have a concealed carry, I think actually concealed carry only, and I learned this in the class, that only applies to pistols. Does not apply to does not apply to rifles of any kind.
No kidding.
Yep.
I did not know that.
If you have your concealed carry permit in Ohio, and you decide you want to put a shotgun,
you can't stuff a shotgun down your pants.
Nope.
No.
You can't carry a shotgun. Can't carry an AR. Can't carry any kind of rifle whatsoever.
Man,
It's
I'm in trouble.
only-
I've been carrying a shotgun in my pants my whole life.
No.
I didn't say a long rifle.
It was a sawed off.
That's a sawed off. Maybe a snub nose.
Shooting duds. Snub nose shotgun.
Shit.
It's just a trigger. That's all it is.
Yeah, it has a hair trigger too.
But yeah, it's all. Oh, the innuendos. So it's only good for handguns,
No kidding.
revolvers, or
Did not know that.
pistols. Yeah.
Huh, I learned something today. How about that?
I learned something else too in that class I did not know that was very interesting to me. The people who put up signs in their businesses saying no firearms allowed, right? I always thought once I had my concealed carry that I could not carry in there because they posted the sign up. Would that make sense to you? So let's say you own a restaurant and you don't want people carrying pistols in your restaurant because it would hurt your fifis. right? Your feelings are all busted up and you can't handle it.
My feels.
Yeah. So you put your sign up and you're like, sweet, now I'm a gun-free zone. As a concealed carry permit holder, I can look at that sign and go, yeah, no thanks, and walk right in anyway.
To a private establishment.
Correct.
Not a public one, though. Like a library or...
No, you can't carry in most government buildings anyway.
Or a bar.
Bars, I see
alcohol.
I gotta go. I think you can carry now in a bar. They got rid of that.
Okay.
But you can't drink.
Well, but of course, yeah.
Which is, I'm okay with that.
Could you drink an open carry?
No. you shouldn't drink and handle a firearm at all. But so yeah, I can. So you own your restaurant, and I've got my concealed carry.
I can be like,
and I see your sign.
Anybody know who that is?
The Swedish chef. And I walk right past your sign, and I sit down, and I'm not breaking any law whatsoever.
Well, you get it concealed. How do I know?
Well, if you see it,
now it's not concealed anymore.
If you say you see the bulge, the outline of it, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you figure out that I'm carrying.
That's a nice pistol you got there, sir. Did you see my sign?
Is that a pistol? You just happy to see me. So at that point, the business owner, his only recourse is to ask me to leave. At which point I have to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I always thought that if there's a sign up,
illegal?
I had to walk out to my car and leave the weapon in the car. Turns out I don't have to do that. I can carry anywhere I want to, whether you want me to or not, in your business.
Yeah, but they can ask you to leave.
If they figure out that I'm doing it, they can ask me to leave. And at that point, I have to leave.
Yeah, it's not illegal, but it's just kind of like you can't smoke in a restaurant, but if you light up a cigarette, they're going to tell you to leave. Well, that's illegal,
I think there's an actual law against that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Bad analogy.
I get your point, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so basically the business owner has no right whether or not I carry in there. It's just a matter of if they can figure out that I am. And I always thought before this class that if I did carry in there and let's say that they noticed it or figured it out and they called the police, I would be in trouble, lose my license, maybe catch a felony.
You'd just be asked to leave.
And that's it.
Caught a felony. That What kind of glove do you use for that?
Just walk around being me for a couple weeks, man.
Catch one.
You're bound.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, we were talking about training too, and the use of that firearm. I don't mean to skip off your subject, but something I wanted to address.
You're fine. I have another one after that too. So
something I wanted to address that it kind of caught me off. I didn't grow up with handguns. I didn't grow up with guns. I just didn't. Not something my family was into. But as you know, I've got older. Pews. As family or as I got older, and my friends have handguns, and some other people that I've been around. I don't know. You
just say it. You know a lot of gun nuts. Go ahead and say it.
I know a lot of gun nuts.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Something that caught me off guard, and again, I don't shoot a lot, is that you watch TV, you have this impression of how guns sound, feel, how they fire. You see these people running around and shooting this gun like it's no big deal. But a little story is, my dad bought a 45 pistol. That's a nice
serious
gun.
handgun.
Yeah. So we went down to the shooting range and packed up the clip. And Dad.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What?
Nothing.
Because I said packed up a clip?
No, because you said clip instead of magazine. But it's fine.
Oh, Lord.
I know, I'm one of those guys. Yeah, it's fine, though.
You are one of those guys.
You loaded your clip.
I loaded.
It's okay.
I loaded my magazine.
That's what it is.
My mag. But loaded up mag, pulled the trigger, and we both went, "Oh shit, we forgot earplugs."
Oh, with a 45.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do
neither
it.
Neither one of us had earplugs.
Yeah, those are.
But just the sheer shock of that volume of noise
absolutely
was deafening. I mean, it literally made my ear ring for like 2 days.
I'm sure.
And we both looked at each other and was like, well, we got a whole box of shells, so...
You just kept going?
Just kept going.
No wonder you can't hear shit now.
I mean, 15 years of playing music and chainsaws will do that to you too. But
you can do that with a 22 and get away with it. The 22 is annoying.
Yeah.
A 9mm hurts a little bit. But even 45 is.
But think about that sound. I mean, if you're using it in one of those, like you said, a life-threatening situation, even that noise, that shell shock of sorts, it's gotta.
It's not what you think.
No, not at all.
It's fucking loud.
It's loud.
Yeah.
And and people don't go around putting earplugs in before they go fire a weapon in the spur of the moment.
Bill Burr has a great stand-up thing on that. I recommend everybody look it up. Bill Burr, gun control or something along those lines. He's that's. Yeah.
Is he a comedian?
Yes.
Where's he 10 bar?
What?
Where's he 10 bar?
What are you talking about?
Never mind. It's a joke.
I didn't get it.
It's a bad joke.
Explain your joke.
Basically, I don't know who he is. He must be a bartender.
You don't know who Bill Burr is?
It's a joke. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know who that guy is.
But you don't know who he is?
I know of him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was in Breaking Bad and
What's
pretty good
that?
stand-up comedian. Oh, Okay, I thought you were serious. You asshole. I was about to lose it and be like, dude,
I've
you
only
gotta
watched
get
that thing
out.
at least 3 times all the way
Okay,
through.
all right,
so,
I feel
yeah.
better now.
Shit.
So I should have made notes like you fucking lawyer. I forgot my other point.
I mean, seriously, my notes are gun loud. That's exactly the note I wrote down here. I mean,
What was that?
That was my phone. Sorry about that.
Oh, you didn't learn to. You're supposed to mute that before you come downstairs.
Well, we played the HQ and I unmuted
we
it.
did.
See
We
what
lost the
happens.
HQ.
The HQ.
So, oh man, see, but now I'm making fun of your notes, but I had something I wanted to bring up, and now I can't.
and you have a
remember
piece
it.
of paper right in front of you with a pin. You dork.
It's way over there.
Way over there.
Past the beers.
It's
and
barely.
stuff.
It's like 4 inches past your beer.
I can't reach
you
it.
can't
You're
reach
right.
it.
You're right. I did reach it.
I agree, and it's funny. I wanted to take the CCW course.
You should.
Just for the fact what you're telling me kind of goes against that. I think I'll take a higher level safety course and something a little more on top of that, because again, I didn't grow up with guns. I don't have that culture of guns. I feel I'm a pretty decent shot. Whatever, I can handle it, but I don't have an intimate appreciation for guns. I don't, because I didn't grow up with them.
Yeah.
So, it's not inherent. It's not like you can just know how to handle a gun and know what everything does and what every piece of it does
And how it all works.
and how it all works. And I think that's important.
And well, and that
I
class,
think it should be in the CCW class.
It was. That class covered
like
all
the
of that.
maintenance and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Just not the law like you thought it would.
And again, it did cover some of that stuff. I
What
don't
could what could they have offered you more?
I don't know. I don't write the course for the laws. I just assumed that there would be some sort of training involved. And again, I'm very familiar with firearms, so I come from kind of the opposite end where you are. I'm comfortable with them, different kinds, and I'm not an expert, but I'm
Sure.
I'm into it. And so I guess where some of it was boring to me, someone else might have been very interested in it, but I walked out of there learning only a couple of things, and then they're like, stamp, go ahead and carry. And and they covered things like use of force, when you can and when you can't. You can't just go out and execute somebody. And they covered a lot of good things. I just didn't realize that it was that easy. Meaning, if someone who, and again, the person who gives you the course doesn't give you your license. They just said you meet the state requirements. You've passed the course. The sheriff's department at that point gives you the license. So this guy you can't leave there holstering a gun and carrying. You have to actually still go to the sheriff, get a background check done and all that. This just says you meet the state minimum requirements. But if someone was like, mentally off their rocker, I think that they could still pass that class.
Which, yeah, why couldn't
It was the first time I ever thought to myself, we need some more gun control. Because there was a guy in the class who was a little, he's kind of weird. He creeped me out a little bit.
You're kind of weird.
I'm extremely weird. I get that, but I'm comfortable with me. But this guy he seemed a little off, and he made me nervous. Even at the range, you have to do live shooting for a couple hours, and at the range, I was like, this guy just here to fucking kill us all or what? Like he made me nervous. I hope he doesn't pass his background check. Like I was that nervous that I hope the sheriffs go, no, you can have a gun.
So the background check comes after the
Correct.
CCW course?
Yeah, you take the course first. If you pass your course, which again, if you can't pass that course, man, fuck. I don't know. Not only you shouldn't even have a squirt gun. And again, it was taught well and all that. Just that the state criteria isn't as high as I thought it would be.
Well, there you have it. Jay wants more government involvement in gun control. You heard it here first, folks.
See, when you word it like that, I
jumped the fence and says you basically need to be a marksman to be able to have a CCW.
You can fail the class if you don't. There is a
if you don't show
test.
Up.
Oh, you might pass it at that point. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but there is a range test. You do have to do, there is 2 hours of training live on range.
Again, and I go back to the point of the open carry. It doesn't make any sense to me because you can't conceal carry, but you can open carry. You can't pass it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But I do like the fact you can open carry.
I prefer it. I prefer an open carry.
There are 2 schools of thought on that, and I don't know where I fall on it. That's why I took the class. I'm not even sure. I don't know. I'm not sure which way I'll go about it from here on out. If I'll.
But it just seems like this whole CCW thing became kind of like a kind of kitschy.
Well, it's just a way to be able to keep your firearm with you like 99% of the time.
Correct. I mean, I'm down with that, but then you have all these people going, oh, this is going to solve my life's problems. I'm going to get a CCW and I can carry a gun. It's like, well, you could have carried a gun your entire life. Why didn't you up till now?
You really couldn't.
You could. You just had to follow the rules. It was problematic. But then
you'd have to walk everywhere.
You can put it in your car. You just have to take it off your person and separate the magazine from the fucking from the pistol, from the firearm. You know, and you had to go through
keep
certain
the ammo
protocols.
separate and do all that. Yeah, carry it safely. But then
or you could put it in a lockbox, put it in the trunk. It's unaccessible, right? I mean, you could carry it that way.
As long as the magazine. We're gonna keep stressing that word. Right. As long as it's not loaded, I think. As long as the gun's not loaded, I think you're pretty much okay. I don't know the laws on how to carry anymore.
We are not attorneys, nor do we profess to be one or offer any legal advice here. But
if you need one, give me a call.
But it did. It became kitschy. It became, kind of like almost like a status.
Well, I like the fact that people carry. Like I want the people who are level-headed people.
Well, that's a very subjective observation there, man. I mean, that dude probably looked at you and was like, "Holy shit, this Mohawk dude with a gun's gonna kill me," and he keeps looking at me like I'm weird or something.
Because he was fucking weird, man.
It's because it was you looking at him.
There were other people in the class too that were like, "That guy's a little bit off." It wasn't just me.
But I mean, what criteria do you use?
I don't know. That's a very good question.
In a background check, he could have never been convicted of anything. And his background's fine.
Yet.
Yeah, sure. How old? How is it? 21 for CCW?
Yeah. Well, it's 21 even to purchase a handgun in Ohio.
Is it?
Yeah. You can purchase a rifle at 18, a handgun at 21.
I don't know.
Which means at 19 or 18, you can open carry your long rifle, but not a pistol. And at 21, you can open carry a pistol or a long rifle, but you can't conceal a long rifle ever, unless you're law enforcement or,
Good luck concealing a long rifle.
I mean, like, that means carrying it in your vehicle.
Oh, okay. I understand what you mean. Yeah. Transporting it and stuff.
Correct. Like now I can, get in my vehicle and carry wherever, but that's only for a pistol. I can't keep my AR in my passenger seat in case shit pops off. The joke being, I don't think I'd ever need an AR in my passenger seat in case shit pops off.
I don't know where I fall on it. I really don't.
Shit popping off would be like, I'm driving along and I'm like, oh shit, those guys are target shooting. Fuck yeah. And I hop out and I'm like, dudes, can I join? Like, yeah. And then we just shoot targets.
When I think of gun laws, I keep going back to really it's, locks keep honest people honest. Gun laws keep honest people from owning more guns. And you know what I mean? Like
I don't know though. Cause
again, we're going to go back to punishment and,
Yeah, but explain Chicago where guns are outlawed and there's shootings all the time.
There were shootings all the time before there was gun problems.
But I'm just saying the criminals don't give a shit if they have
That's my point, is that you put all these locks keep honest people honest, but gun laws only keep honest people from owning guns.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. I heard that.
Yeah, I'm
backwards.
sorry. Yeah, but it only keeps honest people. I shouldn't say keeps, but it
keeps them unarmed and unable to protect themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons I probably have never owned a gun. Is like, man, there's just so many rules, and I don't know that I know them. I don't feel comfortable. And I do want to get one, but and then you have to answer this question. And I think people have to be really serious with themselves. And I think a lot of them are lying to themselves when you say, hey, carrying that weapon, you are agreeing in a sense, especially concealed, that if you ever have to brandish that weapon and pull it out, that you will be willing to take somebody else's life at fear of your own being lost, or your family's for that matter.
Correct.
And I think that's an easy thing to say until you're in that moment. And when the reality of literally snuffing somebody else's life out.
Nope.
People say no, but how many times have you ever been faced with it?
No,
Zero. Never.
But I do know that I
you know what you think.
What I wouldn't ever feel comfortable with is using a firearm in defense of someone else.
Even your family?
No, not my family.
Meaning, like, so you're at Tim Hortons and somebody comes in and robs them, and you take the guy out.
There was a
no plug for Tim Hortons.
One of the things that got brought up in the class was there was an instance where a guy was getting the shit beat out of him, right? Like pretty badly. And this other guy came up and shot him. And it turns out that the guy getting the shit kicked out of him, right? Who he was, he got saved, quote unquote. I did my air quotes that everybody can see very well. I lost my train of thought. The wrong guy got shot.
Was that the guy that came out and was bitching at somebody's girlfriend or something, parked in the wrong place or something like that?
There's no video.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're talking about the Florida one.
I think so,
stand your
yeah.
ground. But the guy that was winning the fight at that point was also the aggressor, basically, and the other guy was trying to defend him. That's what it was. The first guy was the aggressor. The guy defending himself got up on top and was winning the fight, and all the guy saw was that second part of this guy defending himself, and he got shot. And the first guy that who's losing the fist fight basically lived, and he started the fight. So this guy basically shot the wrong guy, but he had no idea. He only had so much information. And again,
should he have that kind of power?
No, but again, I would never get involved with someone else's fist fight.
Yeah,
like that's
what happens when you arm the masses. You give them the option to do that.
Well, he already had the option. He could have walked up and kicked the guy in the head. He could have pulled him off. He could have done a number of other things other than just fucking shoot the guy. You know, I think he just went to his pistol because it was there, and he was like, oh, he might have been one of those fucking loopy guys who just can't wait to kill somebody. And finally, oh, there's my guy, bam, bam, you know.
Right.
Like, I don't ever want to shoot anybody ever, but I know for a fact that if someone broke into my house, and in Ohio we've got the whole castle thing. So if there's somebody in my house that doesn't belong here, I'm not going to find out if they're here to take my TV or if they're here to, rape someone. I'm just shooting them. And I don't feel bad at all because you shouldn't be in my house. Like, don't break into houses.
I understand you feel that way, and I'm not saying you won't do that or wouldn't do that, but I think a lot of people think that they would, and when pressed in that situation, don't or won't or can't.
Yeah, I don't understand how you couldn't.
I mean,
it's such a clear-cut thing at that point. If it wasn't clear-cut, I get it. Again, I'm not gonna pull my weapon on a guy robbing a Tim Hortons, but if someone's in my house that doesn't belong there, clearly I don't want to find out the hard way what you are there to do. You should not be in my house. You are now a threat. No.
I'd be interested, from the audience, and I'm sure we have law enforcement people that might listen to us here, and I'm sure they've been put in that situation. And
I'm sure we have.
And you see some of these, videos, dash cam videos of officers, that somebody draws on them, and the officer basically just ducks down and just starts firing because he doesn't want to get shot. I mean, rightfully so, and he's just shooting blindly. But, he's not zeroing in to kill the guy. It's basically more of a, let's, scare each other away kind of situation sometimes. I don't know. I
don't know.
One of the reasons we go back to the 16 shots fired, nobody shot is because nobody really, nobody wanted to kill him. When they had the firing squads, execution by gunfire, right?
That's where you line up so many guys.
Yeah, we line up so many guys, but not everybody has a real bullet, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have a lot of them are blank. So that way nobody really knows
who fired
who killed them. Because taking somebody's life is a huge undertaking. Absolutely. And it's a huge you're making a split-second decision based on very little information that I think can be very dangerous, one, and two, difficult situation when faced with that as a normal, untrained, civilian carrying a firearm, having that opportunity to snuff out somebody's life at the will of you think they're threatening. And again, I think that's scary.
I don't ever want to have to be in any situation like that. And it would have to be a clear-cut thing where there's this, again, it would have to be under that whole, and Ohio has that castle doctrine where if they're in your house, you don't have to wait and see what they're, they don't belong in the house. They are now a threat.
You're still going to court. You're probably still going to be, you're still going to be answering for that.
Sure.
It's not going to end tomorrow.
No.
If it happened tonight, you're not just going to be going to work tomorrow like nothing ever happened.
No, yeah, there's going to be some issues with it.
You're going to have to explain yourself.
But your house and your car, which is weird, the car.
The car, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, me neither until I took the class.
No kidding.
So I did learn. I said the class wasn't informative at all. I'm just surprised that it was. I thought it'd be more difficult.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I am a little bit proficient with firearms that it wasn't
as difficult.
Maybe you'd go to the class and be like, dude, there's a lot to swallow there, and I don't know. Maybe it was my perspective of it, but it seemed a little bit easier than I thought. But yeah, your car is the same as your home. Meaning if someone tries to carjack you and you're carrying your pistol, you don't have to get out of the car. You can just fire, and that is considered what they call a clean use of force, and you're okay.
So let's go back to when you were taking that course, you didn't really identify, and it was tough, but maybe you can now. From was it a safety standpoint that you think they could have elaborated more on, or the mechanics of the gun, or the actual proficiency for one to be able to use it? Do you think it should be like a week course, 40-hour course? Just like more time with the pistol and with the trainer.
I should have put more thought into that, because all those things, they covered some of the law stuff, they covered the safety stuff. It just, to me, seemed, I don't know. It seemed.
I mean, shit, you got to go to driver's ed for how long? To get a driver's license. And you're not even. Well, I mean, you have the potential for killing somebody, but
the Ohio mandates 6 hours of classroom time
for the CCW.
And 2 hours of range time. So it's an 8-hour class, and you're off and running as long as you pass your background check when you go to the sheriff's station.
So I just thought of the acronym. This is kind of offset. CCW class, concealed carried weapon. Is that CCW, right?
Yeah, and he went over that too a little bit, but I can't remember. It was supposed to be concealed carry weapons.
Carried weapons class. It's kind of like
permit.
I was thinking like ATM machine, automatic teller machine.
And I forget what the actual what it all stands for, but again, it's not. We don't have CCW per se in Ohio, because you can't carry a rifle with it. It's more of a concealed pistol permit or concealed handgun permit. CHL is what you end up getting, a concealed handgun license.
Okay.
That's what you end up having at the end, yeah. But if you say CHL, people go, "You driving truck?" Like, they don't fucking know what that means. They assume you got some sort of a.
It's not quite it either, but yeah, I know where you're going.
But that's what I would think, you know.
Wait, no, it's one.
That must mean a cunty hell of a load you're carrying there.
I have a desire to buy a firearm, just a neighborhood I live in, and
you should.
But I think about that, like in the 40 years I've been alive, I can't think of one moment, and thankfully that I would have ever said, "Man, I wish I had a handgun."
Yeah.
There wasn't in 40 years. Haven't had that moment, but they say it's better to have it and not use it. Use it and not however that phrase goes. Make like a tree and get out of here.
They need a gun and not have it. Yeah.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
But I also, to agree with that a little bit, and just coming from a guy I'm a gun guy, it occurred to me also during this class, one of the things that surprised me afterwards, and I was kind of thinking about all this and what we learned and what I guess not what was presented to us. Some of it I already knew, but we did learn a lot. But going through everything, I was like, man, you have a lot of police out there, a lot of law enforcement, and their job is to interact.
Fuck you up in your way.
Yes. Again.
Sorry,
yes.
That's a little callback to it.
Hey, that is their job.
Squirrel.
But they are dealing with criminals on a daily basis, more often than anybody else.
Yeah, those speeders and stuff out there, yeah.
I meant criminals.
Oh.
Drug dealers and people,
I understand.
Yeah. You're fucking with me. I get it. You're just fucking you're pushing buttons. I get it. So, but the majority of policemen or police people, how do you say that now?
Police,
okay, because there are definitely women police.
And then I'm sure that you can't just have it be gender binary. You have to go.
Oh right. Yeah, don't get me started on that. No, I don't have to. No, there's just two that I have to worry about anyway. I don't know. But anyway, any person, any human. Do I have to stick with humans now, or can we? Because do they have canines?
I
have no idea. Do I identify as? If you're a police officer, you have to identify yourself. But they're out there dealing with criminals on a routine basis.
Sure.
And the majority of them never have to use their firearms.
Thank God.
What's that?
Thank whoever you want to thank. Thank God, I said thank God, but I forgot.
Okay,
who I'm talking to over here.
You can
thank
say
the spaghetti
that.
monster.
I take no. Yeah, there you go. Thank him. But so, me being just an average fucking citizen, I'm not out looking for trouble.
No.
When am I ever going to need it?
Probably pretty low.
Probably pretty low. So again, it's nice to have it in case, but the chances of that are super low. So then I got to thinking, well, what if some of these people are getting this permit and they're driving around like fucking Rambo? Like, ooh, I got a gun in my car. What if they get that mentality in their head that, ooh,
statistically
why don't you
speaking,
start shit? Why don't you start shit now? Like, what if they get more bold? Like, I'm not that guy. I'm just gonna go about my fucking business, and I don't even know how often, when I'll carry, when I won't carry, whatever. It's not a big deal. I just more wanted to, again, have it, have the ability to carry. But I guarantee you that Creepy in the class he's seen like the kind of person who's not got this gun, and he's out like looking for shit to go down. He's like, he wants to find it.
Well, statistics will agree with your comment, and then I've heard, and I don't have anything to quote here, but you can look it up, that carrying a firearm does make a person a little more risky, take more risk, put themselves in different situations, or maybe be more aggressive, because you feel more empowered. There's more empowerment. Feel tough. It does.
Don't feel tough. Just walk the fuck away.
But it's tough not to know that. I mean, you are literally carrying,
Yeah, but you shouldn't want to use it.
Not that you want to, but it's human nature. You know that you have that weapon. I mean, it's not like a pocket knife. It has no other purpose. A pocket knife, you could cut something, open something, whatever. I mean, it has other purposes that are in general use for every day. And I'm not saying a pistol has no other use, but generally speaking, it's for personal defense.
You can open a beer with a pistol. I know this from personal experience.
That was probably not covered in your CCW class.
It was actually. It was do not drink and use firearms. And back in my younger days, I may have mixed the two.
Well, they put alcohol, tobacco, and firearms together for a reason, right?
That is a hilarious point. I never thought of that.
And now they're going to have alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and weed eventually once it becomes legal. But, I keep trying to allude. I haven't bought a gun for the simple fact that I keep thinking back is, what? I shouldn't?
You should.
Okay.
No, you should.
But the thing is, I have to be honest with myself. I don't believe I could make that choice to end somebody's life to continue my own. I don't think I could.
Really?
No.
You just let them kill you?
I think so. I
really?
mean, to be honest, yeah, I think so.
So let's.
I think, and if I'm just going to be true and honest to myself, that I don't think that I would have the wherewithal to actually end somebody's life just to save my own.
Okay, what about to save others? Throw out the scenario. You are at church, and an active shooter comes in, and he just starts fucking mowing people down. And your church allows concealed carry because in Ohio, also churches aren't allowed unless specifically said, by the church that you can. So there's a story that in Texas, some guy came in with a rifle and started shooting stuff up, and somebody else got up and had to shoot the guy, and he saved a ton of lives. You'd rather just let everybody die until somebody else got up and did it? Again,
I'm not that I don't want to
kill anybody, but
I'm just trying to be very dead honest with myself. And I don't know. In that scenario, when I take myself out of it and it's other people, it looks a little different to me.
Huh.
And maybe that's weird that I find other people's lives more valuable than my own.
It is.
But it's my choice, right?
Yeah,
but
it is.
Meaning that, my life versus their life. Well, I don't know that I'd want to live with myself, knowing that I killed somebody for what, even though they were hostile or whatever the case may be.
It would be a terrible thing to live with. But I would ultimately put that on the other person. They made the choice to, don't fucking rob, don't break into people's houses, don't start shooting at people. And again, the goal would be to never ever find out.
Yeah, but somebody's breaking in your house to steal your TV does not deserve the death sentence.
How do I know that they're?
I know you don't know that, but I'm saying
I'm not finding out. I'm not waiting to find out.
And I understand that. I do. I understand it. I get the rationale. I totally understand. I buy into it. However, in my head, I would constantly be thinking maybe he was just here. Maybe maybe this and here
Can't
I did
take that chance.
Maybe now again, I don't want to live with that. I think
if the kids aren't home and it's just me in the house, okay, I'm not. If the guy comes in and things would go differently at that point. I'm not just going to.
You could hide. You could keep your gun and hide, and if you don't have an interaction, let him do his thing and get the hell out.
That would, and honestly, I would do that. I wouldn't kill somebody over a fucking TV. I don't care that much.
Yeah, why should we? I mean, you're protecting your household, though. You're somebody,
and actually, you're not allowed to use your firearm to protect property in Ohio, whether you have a permit or not. That's not a thing.
But what about the castle?
That's where castle doctrine comes in. We're saying, well, if they're in your home, you're not protecting your property anymore. You are now protecting yourself because you don't know why they're there.
Okay.
Meaning, whether or not you have a attached or detached garage makes a difference. So if someone breaks into my garage is detached, not by much, but there's no door directly into my home.
Mm-hmm.
So if I look out the window and someone is in my garage stealing my junk, which was in my garage, and I shoot them, I'm going to prison for murder. I cannot do that because they didn't break into my home. They're in my garage.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to watch them walk all my stuff out, waiting for the police, and I can do it to them. And that's fine because it's just property. It's just stuff. Who cares?
Sure.
But if
you're going to care in that moment, but
I'm not going to shoot them.
Hopefully not.
What are you trying to say? I got a temper? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't feel a threat for my life at that point. I would call the police, and I would do what I could to stop them.
Never call 911, man.
But yeah, you're right. You're right. You caught me.
I'm just saying, man. So what do you do?
I meant that saying that they're reactionary. Yeah.
They are. Well, you don't
if
want
someone
them
broke into my home,
driving around looking for crime. You want them staying at the
waiting for the calls. Waiting for the calls.
So,
but if someone broke into my house, I wouldn't call them until after I shot the person because, again, you know.
I get you. But, I mean.
Unless it was just me at home. If it's just me at home, then I could just, make my presence known, holler at them or whatever. And then unless they come right at me and threaten me.
Sure.
And I'd probably do that anyways when people were there. But I guess I would never shoot someone over TV is my point. But if I don't know why they're there, I don't know. And other people besides myself are at risk. Now I think I could probably
maybe. I used to know someone.
I hope to never find out if I have the balls to do it or not.
I hope not too, man. But I knew someone who would sleep next to their pistol. Their pistol was next to their bed, and they would sleep to it. And this person slept really hard. And they'd say, "I'll just come into the house. When you get here, just come in and wake me up." And I was paranoid every single time I came over there. I would knock on the door, and they didn't answer. I'd walk in, and I'd scream, "Hey, don't kill me. Don't shoot me. It's me." And I would bang on every wall.
Some of my friends do that now.
All the way until I could get, like I didn't want to cross the threshold of the house just because it makes me uncomfortable because I've been around that person. They're not very awake and aware.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. That's a very powerful weapon.
The way you're supposed to keep weapons are locked up even, in your home. So if you want to keep it next to you, you should have it next to you, but in a safe that you have to open. So even biometric.
Is that what you learned in this class that didn't have enough information in it?
No. Well, actually, you know what? He did bring that up. Yeah.
Maybe
but that's a general safety. I think my complaint was just that this psycho guy was in there.
He just didn't like the type of guy that was in the class, huh?
Most of them seemed fine.
Yeah.
Just that one guy just bugged me. But yeah, you should. Now I don't carry or I don't keep firearms in the home as secure as I should. I keep them pretty much ready. But I also don't think that, and I know I wouldn't just, hear a noise in the hallway, see a silhouette, and fire on it. Like, that's fucking stupid.
I'm sure there are people out there like that, though.
What?
That would be that reactionary.
Well, maybe. And if I felt like I was that reactionary and that scared of anything, I would probably keep them more secure. But plus I have people coming and going. So it makes a difference, too. I got to know that you're a threat before I'm ever going to even think about grabbing it, let alone using it.
I would say I don't know anybody personally that has had to shoot somebody.
I do.
Out of self-defense.
But it was war. That counts?
Different. Okay. No. It counts, obviously. I'm discounting it, but in this scenario, no, I don't think so because it's not about CCW, not protecting your person in normal everyday life.
Yeah, that was overseas. It was a theater of war.
Yeah. Different story.
That would be more difficult to me than anything else.
Yeah, that's terrible. I'm glad I have no experience with that whatsoever, and I feel for anybody who has had to deal with that.
Same here, and I would never want to have to deal with it.
On any side, I don't care who you are. Just
don't break into my house, Jeff.
Don't break into my house. I think the day of somebody breaking into your house and stealing your TV is not as common as it used to be. Damn near, who's walking out with a 70-inch TV by themselves? You know what I mean?
I never thought of that. That's a really good point.
Big, man.
They're taking the PlayStation, aren't they?
Maybe the PlayStation.
The laptop.
Yeah, you ain't stealing a TV, man. And they are lighter. It's easier to get out, but damn, that's a big ass.
Yeah, but it took two of us to walk in with the TV.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good point.
I think whether they break in and steal jewelry and money and
why are they?
Prescription drugs.
Who keeps that shit at you? Well, the prescription
drugs probably take the cake.
Yeah.
I'd be curious. I don't hear a lot of home break-ins.
Well, for the record, just so everybody listening knows, I don't have any of those at the house because I don't like medicine usually. So nothing there.
Well, he likes medicine, but different. He likes.
Hey, don't, because I got robbed before from that.
From what? Oh yeah, that's.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
How's that damn donkey?
Someone? Do you think the donkey
probably
broke in my garage and stole all my weed?
Jackass.
Yeah.
Jackass. Well.
But, now that was an attached garage. Had I been home, I could have shot them. accepted all the marijuana plants, probably would have been.
It might have been a problem.
Probably been a little bit of trouble.
It might have been a little bit of trouble.
And I wouldn't want to shoot anybody over anything.
No, I mean, again, that's a
gun control has so many different valid arguments on both sides that it bugs me because I'm a pro gun guy, but
I believe it's worth the risk.
Discount some of the arguments that are out there.
I believe it's worth the risk. I believe it's worth the risk to allow people to have guns in this country. I believe it's worth the risk.
I agree.
I mean, I'm scared is not the right word. I'm concerned. Like it is concerning at times. Like when you hear the statistics of how many guns there are in this country versus other places. But hey, you know what? I don't know. I guess I've grown up in this country, so I don't really have another perspective. If I was from another country, another place that didn't have firearms, maybe I'd feel differently.
I feel pretty safe.
I
know that like other people from other countries are like,
I tell you what,
you're an American? Is it scary over there? And I'm like, no. Sometimes I guess like when DirecTV goes out, if it gets too cloudy, but other than that, it's fine.
I don't know. I've felt safe, growing up and my life and my parents, and they never had guns around. I never thought honestly, I never thought twice about them as a measure of safety.
Which is weird because you're from the southern area where everybody's got guns.
I mean, you got shotguns. I mean, in those kind of things. And
so you had guns?
Yeah, but not your personal defense weapons.
We don't count those though.
Wasn't really personal defense, right? I mean,
shotgun is totally personal defense. 2 in my closet, absolutely.
More for hunting, but.
No, they're great defense guns.
Well, they are great defense. I don't disagree with that.
You don't have to hit shit. You just aim towards it, squeeze the trigger, and then you're good.
I don't disagree with you. Honestly, there's probably nothing more nerve-wracking than hearing a shotgun
that
rack.
Noise? Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm leaving. I don't care if I'm supposed to be here or not. I'm done. I know what that is. You hear a cock of a pistol, you kind of go, what was that?
Yeah.
You don't say what was that to a rack of a shotgun.
No, everybody knows that, that sound.
Is.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm good.
Sound will get you nervous.
No, not at all.
Right, so I'm sure we could have more gun control.
Jay wants more gun control.
No, I don't want gun control. I was simply stating how surprised
J.com. I wish there is there a J. I keep saying J.com for the hate mail. There's some guy getting all this email at J.com going, what the hell, man? Is there a J.com?
There's. I'm not going to give my personal email address. Just send it to the site.
Anybody does want to email us?
Absolutely, yeah. Feel free.
Arguably correct podcast at gmail.com.
And we would love to see your emails. We can read them, go over them, answer your questions, all that good stuff. So send them in. We can wrap this one up. I do not want more gun control. I was just bringing up a point that it seemed too easy. Back the fuck up off me.
All right. Until next time, this is Arguably Correct.
We'll see you later.